transfer that was off record, authorized by higher-ups, potentially Obama, but literally scared me. I read the title of this, I read this report, I didn't want it to be true. I kept reading it, I read it probably 50 times before I was confident enough to talk about this. It scares me. It literally scares me. This is potentially one of the most important reports I've ever done in my entire life. Everyone needs to listen to this. Everyone needs to share this. Let me preface this. Yesterday, actually 2 days ago, we reported on, the same day this following report came out, this high-level source, which is 100% confirmed, has repeatedly been correct in the past, super high-level military source, telling us that Dyess Air Force Base in Texas, in West Texas, was transferring on September 3rd nuclear warheads off record, no signature. The text says that Dyess is beginning to move out nuclear warheads today. He got a tap, and he said that it's the first time they've even acknowledged nuclear weapons since the 80s. And key point here, no signature was required for the transfer. It was all off record. This is a black ops movement of nuclear warheads. Now, this is where it gets key. They were shipping them to South Carolina. South Carolina. Okay, this is what the high-level military source told us, that they were shipping these nuclear warheads to South Carolina. Now, why is that important? This new article you'll see up on screen from CBS, Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, has come out and said, nukes in the hands of terrorists could result in bomb coming to Charleston Harbor. Specifically, he's saying that if we don't attack Syria immediately, if we don't go in and have military action in Syria, we could have a nuke blow up South Carolina. It's amazing. Look at this. He says that if there is no U.S. response to Syria, Iran
will then be picked up and potentially utilized. This is of particular interest not only due to the fact that the Syrian situation has escalated to the point of a very realistic hot war scenario. Well, it is, because the Senate's going to give approval on Wednesday. We got the leaked information on that. But due to the fact that Dyess has repeatedly denied the existence of nuclear warheads inside the base. The brief report from the top-level military source, which was written in a rush to get the information out, reads, Dyess is beginning to move out nuclear warheads today. I got a tap from Dermo earlier. He said it was the first time they have been ever acknowledged since being put there in the 1980s. No signature was required for transfer. There was no directive. He said that the Dyess commander was on site to give authority to release. No one knew where they were going really, but the truck driver said to take them to South Carolina, and another pickup will take them from there. The fact that this transfer was not signed for and there is no paper is key. It shows how the military is now secretly operating with the transfer of nuclear weapons. And what's more, we know that Dermo, a military base in Florida, is a hotbed for special operations. Why is Dermo operating the nuclear warheads out of Dyess Air Force Base with no paper trail? This shows this is a highly sensitive black ops style. More here than the military does not want on record. The fact is that they don't move all of these assets unless they plan on using them. Nuclear warheads are not simply moved to the East Coast for no reason. And the bottom line is that these missiles are likely being used for something even much greater than Syria. Top-level military officer extremely alarmed. This leak inside the military-industrial complex comes after prior resources have also revealed to us that B-1s and B-2 bombers were ordered to head out of their respective bases. B and 1Bs leave Dyess specifically across the nation, and they haven't come back. All this happening amid the growing Syrian crisis that has developed amid the ignition of a World War III level wrestling match between the United States and Russia. Now, based on the transfer to South Carolina that is not on record and was not signed for, we may be looking at a pattern that reveals an extremely hot war scenario. I did a report probably, 3 days ago about the aircraft that were seen over the UK, the sniffer planes that would sniff for nuclear weapons that have been used. This article goes on to say, here's what's essential to understand. There's no question that the Syrian issue is huge, and it's very possible that the U.S. military is now under orders by Obama to prepare a strike. Well, he's going to strike. They going to get the go-ahead tomorrow. But the reality is that the much greater issue here is what's going on with the U.S. and Russia. What we've seen here is a proxy war turned hot with Syria, and we've been covering this for months now. Even the mainstream media has reported in the past how the evolution of war in Syria has turned into a hot proxy war against Russia, viva the Syrian rebels and Assad's troops. We now even have the Russian media openly discussing the hot war by the United States against Russia, and how this will essentially lead to World War III. But the matter of the fact is, we're already progressively moving towards World War III. Obama and United States officials are already talking about boots on the ground in Syria and taking down the Russian-backed Assad regime. They are already moving forward following the blatantly staged chemical attacks that were absolutely carried out by the Obama-funded Syrian rebels in order to initiate a war scenario. Why do you think Obama has been aiding in the training, funding, and supplying of the bloodthirsty Syrian rebels since 2011 through secret orders emitted by Reuters? The entire angle here is not to help the civilians of Syria, who the Obama-backed rebels already are beheading and murdering to cheering crowds. No, this has been a build-up to World War III scenario between Russia and the United States, and now, with the absolute insanity of Obama and the military-industrial complex pushing these wars, it's here. I have spoken to my connections in the Russian media, and they are all confirming that World War III is the hottest topic right now amid the populace. And the fact of the matter is that all of the top-level military officials over there are looking at this Syrian incident as the catalyst, as the spark. There's a reason that Russia has been amassing 160,000 troops and heavy military equipment following an Israeli strike on Russian missiles in Syria. There's a reason that the troops were called along with naval ships and bombers to attain immediate combat readiness along the border. We reported on this months ago while the media was too busy focusing on the Trayvon Martin case to talk about the ignition of World War III. What we're looking at right now is the beginning of World War III unless we manage to stop it. The elite are crazy enough and drunk enough with power to launch anything if it means advancing their vast lust for power and control. Thankfully, we now have a public that is much more awake to what's going on and able to put up a speed bump in the overall war plan, as admitted by Obama advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski last week. But it will take a lot of awakening to stop Obama from launching these attacks that have been in the works for years. We encourage you to continue checking out InfoWars and StoryLeak for more updates on this and the latest news and information we find out on this developing situation. And this is a victim from Hiroshima. What everyone that survives has to look forward to in the event of a nuclear war. I will not apologize to those of you who do not believe that this is all part of prophecy. First Syria, Damascus will be in ruins, and then Iran. And prophecy also states that Russia will attack the United States coming from the furthest part, the northern part of the globe. There's actually two wars at the same time. It's called Armageddon and Making God. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.
At an Air Force base in West Texas, where the B-1B bombers are located, told us that secret mothballed nuclear weapons that weren't even supposed to be on the base were brought out of mothballs and loaded on trucks. And the police said, where are these going? Nobody's signing for it. The base commander simply gave orders, and everybody knew that this was completely irregular, and that there had been a big controversy a few years before when this happened in Minot, North Dakota with cruise missiles. And so they were asking questions. The truck drivers said, all we're told is this is going to South Carolina, and we don't know where it goes from there. Heads that are not accounted for just accidentally being shipped places. This is unprecedented and is undoubtedly the most dangerous story we have ever covered. I do not like covering this. I do not like where this goes. My gut has never been telling me that something was was more dangerous than this. This is incredibly important because the entire world is waking up to the globalists that have hijacked America and the West and that are pushing us towards world war. Only 9% approve in a Reuters poll for strikes on Syria. The NRA is suing the NSA for spying on gun owners. It's all starting to come out, and the tyrants are desperate. This could be their false flag to bring in full martial law, or they could be threatening the rest of the Eastern establishment with nuclear blackmail if they don't go along with this. Regardless, this is big, because our source has now gone dark. We're unable to get a hold of them. This is extremely serious. We're going to go now to Anthony Gucciardi's breakdown of this report after we show you a clip from Tuesday where we speculated about what the missing nukes could be used for.